It's the oddly shaped curiosity that's grown on me the more I look at it. See how I built my Lee-Richards Annular Monoplane right here on Gary's Stuff. Hello there, I'm Gary. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Today, indeed, I am building the Lee-Richards Annular Monoplane in 1/48 scale from Avis. Now, if you're thinking about buying one, just want to know what you get in the box, there is already a box opening video on my channel. If you have got one on order, you've got one in your stash, you want to know how to put it together, this is very much the video for you. If you like our show, and I hope you do, please do remember, give it the old imperial thumbs up on the like button below because every like counts. And indeed, if you haven't done so yet, please do subscribe to the channel and hit that bell. At no cost to you, you'll get notified of all my future content as it is published. If you'd like to make a more concrete contribution to the channel, you can do that through Super Thanks, by becoming a channel member, or by using any of my online partner programs. So, this kit, by the way, was sent to me by Nick Johnson as one of Nick's mystery boxes. So, Nick, thank you very much indeed for that. I hope you enjoy the build. Let's make a start then on the Lee-Richards Annular Monoplane in 1/48 scale from Avis. So there's lots of stuff to put into this side first. So here is one bit. I have no idea what it is, but the instructions say to put it in. I guess it's some sort of full or something for the air intake for the engine, maybe. I don't know. Okay, so I've done quite a bit of sanding of the top and the bottom here to make sure it fits. And I think it continues this curve here on the inside. Goodness knows why I had to do that though. Well, the first thing I've done is I've sprayed the interior with a Humble 237, I think it was. I'm just trying to find a colour that looks vaguely linen-like, which isn't linen because linen was a bit more bleached than this. I don't know. It's impossible to know what the thing was actually coloured, so I've just gone with this Humble 237 because it kind of fits what I want it to look like. I've then painted over some of these bits of structure here with some wood colour, some Vallejo wood. It's quite thin. It's not that accurate, but you know what? Half this I'm never going to see again, so it's just there to give a bit of give me a bit of idea of what's going on. And some of these fillets, they've got a name. I can't remember what they are for the life of me, but these little metal brackets here that go over the top, I've just painted those up in a little bit of bright sort of silvery colour. I'm going to not assemble this the way that the instructions say, which is not really a surprise, because I'm not entirely sure that that's the right way to do it anyway. We do have to be a bit quick because there are a lot of things on each side. There's a couple of holes here to support a floor. There's a hole here for a seat. There's a hole here for a control column. Then there's a slot here and a slot here for these engine mounts. There's the engine itself. Oh, these have to go in, and these have to go in before the two halves can go in. So I'm going to put one of these in, this rear engine mount. I'm going to leave the front engine mount, the engine, and the prop shaft and all that till later on. I just want to get this assembled, basically, before I make much more of an effort anywhere. So the big trick is finding out where half of this stuff actually goes. I'm going to say this goes here. It looks like it should go there. Like that. Yeah, that's where I think we're going to go. So just start gluing in a couple of bits of this rear engine mount first. I'm guessing that this was metal. I have no idea. It could be wood, but wooden engine mount just seems a little strange with the engine right next to it as well. I would have thought it wasn't all that heat resistant. But what do I know? So a few spots of glue here and there. And then some of this stuff can go in. So there's a wooden floor piece here. It would be nice to have the other seat actually, because this was a two-seater. A lot of these were designed as two-seaters. Here's the pilot seat. Goes in here. You can see with these pegs it's going to be a little tricky to make sure they all go together properly and get the alignment of the thing. There is like a what looks like a fuel tank and what appear to be rudder pedals that go in as well, but they're going to go in a bit. Right, so that's that. That's all I'm putting in onto this side. The other side I've painted up pretty much the same. I should have mentioned there are actually there's two tiny little bits of plastic here that go in, I think, to fill in this gap here in the engine inlet, so coolant inlet. Anyway, right. So then what we're going to do is get some glue on contacts. I'm not gluing the body itself. I'm just gluing all these bits and pieces together. So that's going to go in there. I'm just going to try and get as much of these bits lined up with their respective holes as possible. There it is then. Oh, it didn't take long. Honest, it didn't. So what I did eventually was I just had this piece and this piece sitting in here to begin with. Used those to help close up the fuselage and then taped the fuselage up. Taped it temporarily. Then when everything was done, put these bigger pieces of tape in to hold it more permanently. When everything was taped, I could then make sure these pins were absolutely set correctly so that these sides would kind of meet. Then I could put this bar in this side first and then just sort of help it into the hole there. And likewise with the seat, I put it into this side first and then just sort of helped it into the hole there. The top will move in and out very slightly to allow you to do that. And of course, everything's taped anyway. So that's fine. There's something that goes on the back of the seat. I'm not sure what it is, but that can wait. There's a rudder bar that goes in. I'll put in a minute. Then, of course, there's the front engine mounting, the engine, the drive shaft, and then a front piece here as well. We do also have to put in quite a lot of weight in the front, apparently. Not quite sure how I'm going to do that yet. We shall see. Now, I've put some glue in the seam, but what I'm also going to put in here, just I'm going to run some Mr. Dissolved Putty, which hopefully will kind of fill in some of the gaps here, because the gaps are very, very small. I guess you'd use, if you make your own sprue goo, that would work for this as well. But it's just essentially just to fill in this sort of hairline crack here. And then when that's done, then we can worry about making sure it's actually leveled off later. So you just run it along that crack. Okay, and just let that dry in as well. I suggest give a little bit more strength to the bond as well, because at some point, no doubt, we're going to be putting it under stress. When we put the top on, we may be sort of squeezing the top, and we don't want the bottom popping open as well. Actually, I might run some down the bottom over here as well, just to be absolutely sure. The engine sits into the hole here in this rear mounting, and then the front mounting allegedly slips in here, but it doesn't, so we're going to have to do a bit of work on filing that down. The front mounting slips in between these two guides, like so, once you've sanded it down quite a lot to fit in. Then there's the prop shaft, goes in here, allegedly, but then it sticks out the front. It's not going to touch the front, anywhere near the front of the engine, but there we go. So anyway, the prop shaft comes in here and sticks out front, and that's what the propeller obviously sticks on. There's a piece here that goes on the front. So I would suggest probably let's leave that quite loose. We do want something there for the prop to sit on, but as it won't be seen, I don't really think we need to worry too much about what the actual connections are in there. So let's just whack this in. Now, another reason why I'm not too bothered about what's in here is A, we can't see it because the front part of the wing is going to sit on here, and B, this is going to be filled with weights because, you know, at the moment it's pretty tail heavy. When we put the wing on, it's going to be even more tail heavy, so we're going to need a lot of weight at the front end here to keep it on its nose. Now onto the upper deck, there's this hole here. We're trying to think through a fuel tank, so they provide a tank-like thing, so I'm going to put that there. It's kind of where it belongs in the plane, but the plane's a little too wide at the moment for it to fit in, but that's where it's going to go. Okay, so what we have everything in here. What I haven't done yet is put the steering wheel on. That's because I'm going to blank off the space above here, probably put some foam into it or something. So I don't want to knock that off, the wheel off, when I'm doing that, because, you know, to spray the whole thing. So the next thing, once you've got everything together, is to put the top deck on. Let's go a little bit wider for this. There we go. So just need to put the top deck on, pinch it up in the relevant places, tape it up so it fits, and then extra thin cement all around. So I've put everything together now for the fuselage, and what you notice is I've packed this front end with lead shot because it's going to need a lot of weight. I don't even know if that's going to be enough, but we'll just have to try it and see. Okay, so next thing is to put the main wing on. Before I put the wing on, I should point out that I've just dropped in some clear PVA into here just to keep them all together, basically. Anyway, nothing major. So the front of the wing clips onto the front of the fuselage like this, and then the back of the wing, there's these two pegs that fit in the sides, like so. And there, and there. It sits at the front, and there we go. That's the annular wing fitted. Now just glue this up. We will have to do a little bit of filling around the edges, but otherwise that's the wing on. The tailplane slots. It's not a tailplane, it's the fin. The fin slots over the back end of the aircraft like so. Now you will need to sand this down to get this to sort of kind of fit right. Will eventually go into place. So and just glue it in. And the elevon, I guess, elevon, it's an elevator and aileron, so Elephant sits in the back there. They call them roller-ons or something like that, don't they, these days? I don't know. Anyway, there's one each side. The post for the tensioning supports on the wings goes in here. With everything glued up and filled, we can start laying down successive coats of buff to try and build up the colour. I'm going to start assembling the legs of the undercarriage first. These parts go. This is the main support for fuselage here. If you like the main gear struts, although they're struts that go to a single common gear piece. The main wheels go here, and those wheels go here. Okay, so none of you told me I put these on the wrong way around, had you? Yes, so these flappy streamlining things go obviously downstream, so towards the tail. I had put them the wrong way around. Anyway, they go on like that. Now the undercarriage is going to sort of clip either side of this. So what I'm going to suggest we do is get it in one place and then sort of bend that piece so that this comes out a bit, so they can then let it settle in like so when it's done. Then the forward undercarriage strut goes onto there and attaches behind the T-bar of the nose wheel like so. I'm going to give this a light coat of ochre first as a base for the wooden effect. Okay, now for the fun bit, which is rigging the aircraft. I'm using this Ammo by MIG rigging wire. It's like a very fine fibre of spandex, which is like an elastic material, so it stretches. And what that means is if you put it slightly bigger than you need and then set it kind of maintains a tension on the wire and it looks taut all the time, which is excellent. So it's not easy to use, and I'll probably make a complete mess of this, but I'll show you how I do it. He said confidently, right? So a tiny spot of super glue at the top. You're going to need to use the regular quick set one up here. I normally use high viscosity super glue for most modeling things, but here you need one that sets quickly once something comes into touch with it. So very fine tweezers and just let it touch onto it and just leave it. Don't pull at it straight away because it won't like it. Give it a few seconds to cure. Then, which I've used quite a lot of cable, so I'll go to a longer length one over here. Okay. Another spot of super glue. Down here, you'll see I've made the holes quite big, but that's so that I can sort of go back later and fill them and paint them in, rather than trying to get them really, really small things in straight away. So as I say, just hold it taut, kind of taut. Put in contact with the glue and leave it. And then when you're ready, just trim that bit off at the end. And that's it. You just go around the whole aircraft, doing 10 on the top surface, a few on the bottom, so 5 or 6 on the bottom surface, one across here, and then also the cable runs as well we're going to put in. So quite a few to do. The main wheels come in three pieces. There's the tyre, as it were, and then the wheel comes in two pieces either side that go in. You will need to file these down to fit exactly though. I've just spent about 20 minutes doing these and now they fit. So a little dab of glue to hold them in place. And when the wheels are ready, they can just slot onto the axles like so. The nose wheels, incidentally, are single pieces. You just need to paint them up. Don't need any assembly. And there are two of them, as you can see. So that's the wheels. We'll just let that dry now. All we need to do now is pop the propeller on and our model is complete. So there it is, the Lee-Richards Annular Monoplane number 3, all finished. Not a lot to it in terms of part number, but it takes a little bit of building, but anyone with any sort of experience should be able to do this. And of course, the rigging was fairly straightforward to do, I would say, because it's quite an open space to be working in. There we go then. Do you know what? The build was relatively straightforward. There's a little bit of filling here and there, but nothing terrible, nothing awful. There are some bits like the whole engine assembly really that you're just not going to see, so it's a bit difficult to understand why they're going to be there. And although I did fill the nose with lead shot, it is just fractionally staying on its nose. It really needs a lot of weight up the front to sit properly on its wheels. However, overall, I love the kit. I love making it. The rigging, of course, is entirely optional, but there's plenty of it if you fancy having a go. So, not a bad kit of actually a quite remarkable aeroplane. Looking at the aerodynamics of it, which were very, very advanced for like 1913, 1914. If you've enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed the build, then please do remember, give it the old Imperial thumbs up on the like button below because every like counts. And if you haven't done so yet, please do subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, and you'll be notified of all my future content as it is published, and it won't cost you a penny. Thank you so very much for watching today. Hope to see you again on the channel soon. Take good care now, and goodbye.